Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start with the approval of the minutes of the last board meeting, which seems like forever ago, January 8th. Everybody had a chance to read the minutes. Any corrections that need to be made? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting January 8th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Then we'll move on to the approval of our general fund vouchers, 75,365 through 75,473. Void 75,442. Wire transfers 17180,314 through 17180,366, and activity fund vouchers 9096 through 9119. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the general fund vouchers as read. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll move on to our public comment. Does anybody have a public comment that they'd like to share with us?
Mr. Rosine? No. Just kidding.
Seeing none, then we'll move on to our spotlight on education. And we have tonight the introduction of the valedictorian salutatorians.
Okay, so we have two of the three kids with us, but before we get into that, we just wanted to recognize the seniors as a whole. We had just a really solid group of seniors. Clearly, they had 3 students with a 4.0 or better, 14 students with a 3.70 GPA or better, so really a strong class. This year, I'd like to recognize 3 people. If you'd stand up, we have valedictorian Cal Rosine with a 4.029. And then a co-salutatorians, we have Aaron Cockcroft and Sean Singh with a 4.0. So congratulations, gentlemen, really impressive and nicely done.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yep.
Writing your speeches.
Yeah.
Have you guys chosen a college to go to?
Yep, I'm going to River Falls next year for egg engineering.
Oh, nice.
That's what I did.
That's what I did too. Look at where we're at today.
Back to school.
And I'm going to UW Whitewater for general business.
Oh,
For you guys.
Good.
Very cool.
That's a nice part of the world.
And Erin couldn't make it with us because she's at the Spanish activity tonight this evening. So congratulations, fellas. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Good work.
If you guys want to hang out for the whole meeting, you can. If you want to sneak out, you're welcome to too.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet. Have a good night, you guys.
Sorry, John, they're all abandoning you.
All right, so then we'll move on to our business tonight. Item A, review of the 2018 WASB State Convention.
Okay, so it's been a while, but Skip and I went to the WASB State Convention 2 weeks ago now, and I found it extremely beneficial. One of the main themes that I took from it, was the focus on millennials. I thought it was an interesting kind of topic that a couple of the workshops had kind of built around the theme of millennials, working with millennials, attracting millennials, keeping millennials. So it was interesting. And then also, then they just had a lot of other governance workshops. Able to meet with Al Brown, consultant that we're looking at bringing in, so it was a good time to meet with him as well, and I'll bring that up later. Mr. Kreitz, do you have anything from the workshop?
Yeah, the millennials, they talked about teaching shortages of them. They talked about technology in school with how a lot of people are going to iPads or these Chromebooks. Oh, I learned a little bit about food service and how some other districts are doing that. Breakfast in classroom, that was a good idea, and found out we're already doing that. Getting kids ready for college, each school district handles that a little bit different, but yeah, it was good stuff. If anyone ever gets a chance to go down there, it was very educational. So.
I think one good takeaway too that I got, whether you're big, small, rural, urban, kind of all in the same boat, dealing with the same issues and troubleshooting together. So it's good to hear what other districts are doing as far as incentives and things that they have implemented in their district as well.
And I had a keynote speaker that just talked about in 10 years, the jobs there are now, they won't be there. They'll be totally changed to more robotics and technology-based stuff. So
I think he was the Hanson electric guitar player for the band Hanson, right? Or was that not him?
No, that was the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the guy that had 5 kids that are a year apart.
Okay.
Why is that so funny? Yeah, well, maybe next year we can get a bigger crew to go down there. Anything else on the convention? All right, then we'll move on to the review of our second Friday pupil count.
Okay. So pupil count was on Friday, January 12th. Overall numbers are up. I think it's a good thing. You can see as an overall district total, kind of the first column, second to the last. The document that I have for you is a little tricky because DPI requests some numbers a certain way. So if you'll see like grades 1 through 12 at the very bottom, that's only because DPI, that's a number that they request. So if you look at that 530, right above that is actual kind of butts and seats, I guess, for lack of a better term, that 610 number. And then if you go work your way to the right, you can see our special ed population. Then you can see our open enrollment in versus our open enrollment out. 59, almost 60 compared to 70, so pretty similar to where it was before. And then if you look at the actual report is a little different because they have there's a formula where they subtract the number of open enrolled out and then they add open enrolled in, and then the little buggers down in the pre-K and K aren't counted as full FTEs. So when you look at that document, that's why the total count on the DPI report is different than what the actual count is. So that's where we're at. And we are, if you notice, we're losing a big class. That senior class this year is a large class at almost 60 kids. So that'll be a big hit for us. So we'll see a little bit of a decline in enrollment after this year's graduating class leaves us.
I noticed in the school programs or the grade school, they really varied how big they were.
Say again?
The kids, the class sizes really varied for the Christmas program.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the actual kids themselves.
Oh.
That too.
That's why you sat in on that nutrition program. All right, then we'll move on next then to our approval of the spring coaching roster.
Okay, I think we can table that after closed session and then come back out and open and discuss that one.
Okay. And then we'll move on to the approval of the community ed position.
Okay. So the community ed position, replacing Susan Rogers, who was in the position formerly or previously. Looking for approval on that individual to take the community ed position. We interviewed a good population of candidates, which was nice to see. Because nervous that we weren't going to have a large candidate pool, which we did. So it was nice. There's some good candidates to pull from and to interview.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve. Lisa, how do you pronounce it?
Mogul?
Mogul? All right.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to have Lisa Mogul be our new community ed coordinator. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll move on to the approval of the renewal of the school district property and casualty insurance.
Okay, so this is the next page right after that, the contract. It's EMC. This was the kind of the main focus is those two bold numbers, the 123 $150,000 and then the $112,000. So overall, we're going to see a decrease in what we have to pay for next year, which isn't always the case. So this is a good thing. We did have some workman's comp stuff that kind of fell off, which is a good thing for our district, so we won't have to pay as much. Then next year is when we would enter the bidding process again. And Jim Leadholm was who we've been through with years, kind of helps facilitate that and lead us through that process.
Okay.
What do you, they bid it out every so often, or what do you mean?
Every 3 or 4 years they bid it out. You don't have to, but he recommends that you do for this.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to approve the renewal of our school district property and casualty insurance. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes, and then we'll move on to our discussion of board professional development.
Okay. So like I said, I met with Al Brown down at the WASB State Convention and shared with him what you guys had asked me to share with him, and asked him if he'd be interested in coming to Clear Lake. He lives fairly close to here. He's in the Chautauqua area, and he said he'd be more than happy to come over and lead us through whatever we wanted him to lead us through. So he asked me to go back and see if we can't get maybe a date in April, and then I even said we're even possibly thinking about 2 dates, one in April and then one once in the maybe late summer months or early summer
Was he the
months.
same gentleman that came that one time for our retreat, the first retreat? Or
He
whatever?
came prior to me being here. The gentleman that came since I was here was Guy Levitt. I think
Oh,
they
yeah,
came
yeah,
together
yeah.
prior to me.
He's
So,
the one that did that data dive workshop that I went to in Whitewater.
Yeah.
Good guy.
So we could, if you guys want to, we don't have to identify a date right now, but if we want to maybe do it through email, or if you want to do it right now, either one. If we want to shoot some dates in an email, I just want it on the agenda so the public knows that we're working towards.
Is there a night that works better?
Monday nights, if,
Sure.
see if we can find a Monday night. We can just toss it around in an email if you guys want to.
Yeah, if we narrow
Sure.
it down to a date or a Monday, then yeah, we can that'll be easy.
Keep it a short board meeting and do it right after.
We could try to do
How long
that.
is it? Does he tell you that or not?
You said we can do
4 hours.
whatever he wants. So usually it's an hour to 4.
1 to 4.
Four CEUs there.
Yeah, I don't know how heavy our agendas are in April, but yeah, that's a possibility. It'd be nice to get it all done in one night.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I would say not the first one. The second one would work better.
We plant
Okay.
corn.
My kids are home alone on the first night. My husband has meetings
First
too.
night in April?
The second Monday, my husband's always gone
Oh.
too, so my kids are just home alone. So I would prefer.
Elections
not
are
to
the
have it.
15th? 3rd?
So you probably want to wait until maybe the second one. Then
Your new peeps are in there.
New person, yeah.
They'd be sworn in that meeting then, right?
The first meeting
Yeah.
in April.
Yeah.
The
Second
first one they get sworn in.
Uh-huh.
And then a 4-hour retreat.
Welcome
to
Welcome
your
to
town.
Well, so we're talking then, if we're talking about doing it during the meeting, that would be the 4th Monday
Yeah.
Be the
of
23rd.
April.
Mhm.
And that is corn planting time, so maybe we want to see if we can pick one earlier than that.
Well, the new member won't be on there till then, though.
Or later. Doesn't matter.
May or June. June things are just growing, right?
I only
Yeah,
said
there's
April.
not much to do then. Let's watch it grow.
I only said April to Al because that's what, but if everybody wants to move it, it doesn't matter to us, to me.
We just, right, date as we go to.
I'm
Yes,
sure
we
we'll need to
did.
get on his calendar, so if we could
I suppose.
get it figured out this week.
Unless we think about the 3rd Monday. I can't imagine that it would be done within an hour. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a 2-hour deal, depending on what we talk about, but
Yeah.
hour goes by pretty quickly when we're
Sure.
meeting with one of them guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume a couple hours by the time we drill in with questions after.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions to ask.
Okay.
Should we try for the third Monday?
Of April
Which would be
16th.
that's turkey on.
Yeah, we just have teacher in service and a baseball game that evening and a softball game. But
The 16th?
yep.
We could start earlier if we don't make it after a
Works for
meeting.
16. Okay.
Depends on how farm stuff is for you guys.
Okay. How about we do this? I'll throw a couple of those in an email and we can kind of vote.
Sounds
Or
good.
discuss in an email thread.
Okay.
And then the new members we can do then. Just have them come there. Because they won't be.
Yeah, they'll be in
They'd
the
be
first
sworn in
meeting.
that week before,
They will be.
wouldn't
Yep.
Oh, the week. Oh, okay.
Yep.
they? Yeah, they'd be sworn in on the 9th
On the
then.
9th,
Okay.
yep. So it'd be the next Monday for them.
Welcome to the
Yeah, I think that would
party.
work good.
Jump
Okay.
in feet first.
All right. Then we'll move on then to the approval of our district administrator's evaluation.
Okay, that one
Approve
will
and
also be
closed.
tabled to discuss in
Yep.
detail.
Okay.
Closed.
So then we'll move on to our superintendent notes.
Okay. Okay. All right, have kind of entering postseason world for all of our sports teams. We have all three of our winter sports are just really doing extremely well. The wrestling team is regular season is over. They've yet to be. I think took one loss for the year. Just qualified 5 onto sectionals. Won the regional tournament, so moving on in team sectional tomorrow, where we wrestle Phillips, I believe, and then hopefully take on the winner of St. Croix Falls and
Durand.
So they're doing really well. So that meet tomorrow's in Cadott, starting at 6 o'clock, I believe, tomorrow evening. Then we have a girls basketball game tonight against Northwood home over at the elementary building. We had eighth grade orientation, kind of 9th grade orientation night here in the building.
Just now?
Yep. Valentine's Day's on Wednesday. So I'm sure we'll have some Valentine's parties taking place over at the elementary building. No school on Thursday, which we just have the teacher in service. We have a doubleheader that night against Cameron, boys and girls basketball, both for the conference championship
There.
in Cameron. Yep. Then no school on Friday for anybody. The individual wrestling sectionals on this Saturday. Shakila, sorry to put you on the spot here, but did I miss is it girls basketball regionals next week, correct? We received the bye for the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let me grab my calendar.
I think the boys and the girls basketball received the bye for the first.
We play Friday night, and then when we play again Saturday night, if I'm speaking correctly.
Yep, the 23rd and 24th. Yeah. And then state individual wrestling on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th down in Madison, Wisconsin. And then the following week, the boys start their regionals, and they receive the bye on Tuesday, and then they play on Friday home. I think the girls took the number 3 seed, didn't they? I think. Okay. So, but either way, both of them have home games starting out, which is exciting. So, all right.
And the boys are ranked 4th, last I heard.
Last I saw was 6th, but they could have moved up. I don't know.
Since this weekend, I haven't looked.
They're doing well, that's for sure.
Yeah, they sure are. Okay. And then we'll move on to our future agenda items. The review of the AGR SAGE program is listed already.
Yep.
Anybody have anything else that we want to put on there? Did we do a follow-up on our application for funding, or for the grant for
Charter school?
charter school?
Not yet.
Did we follow up on that yet, or no?
No, we have a meeting coming up on the
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay.
The committee meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And what about the Fab Lab?
It's still hanging out there yet too.
That's an application in process.
Yeah. That we applied for it. And waiting to hear back. I don't know when. Do you know when they receive?
For some reason, I want to say November.
Okay. So, fingers crossed, but.
So if you guys are ready to share anything from the charter school meeting, go ahead and put it on the agenda
Okay.
then, if you would. And if you're not, if it's not, then that's fine too, but I'm anxious to see how that turns out. Anything else? Okay. Well, then we'll move on to our contemplated closed session. In accordance to WSS 19.851C, considering employment, compensation, or performance data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibilities. F, concerning financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, if discussed in public, would likely have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data, or involved in such problems or investigations. So now I'll pull the board. Nettie?
Yes.
Skip?
Yep.
Myself, yes. Peter?
Yes. Yep.
David? All right, we're in closed session. All right, we'll return to open session. District Administrator evaluation.
I move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the District Administrator's evaluation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. In regards to the spring,
Table it.
I'll entertain a motion to table the coaching roster.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded to table the spring coaching roster. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Before we do, can we talk about the next board? I guess my biggest beef about this whole thing was the evaluation itself. I mean, we talked about updating and getting a different evaluating tool. I mean, do you guys think this is really that effective to help Josh? No?
No, we're going to get a new one.
Next year.
Yep.
I just think that that's something we'll have to start talking about in June and July,
Right.
and just
Yeah.
really work on it, because it's
Too
not going to be
late-
something
too
we can
late
start
this year.
in November and say we
Right.
don't like this.
Right. Just, and again, I'm going by the data-driven stuff. The more data we have, the more input that we have from people around, the better we can evaluate you. And I just didn't feel like this. I mean, this has probably been used since what? Probably since Ray Smith's been here. Yeah, it's dated. Anyway, I just thought that was my 2 cents on that whole.
And I appreciate it. I do think whichever format we use, I do think the big thing is going to be, falling back on me to be providing documentation,
Yes.
on whatever evaluation tool we use. I think that's probably the most beneficial to help you guys appropriately evaluate me, or effectively evaluate me.
No, and I think you're doing a wonderful job, and I mean, you're learning, you're growing into the position, and you're learning what we need and what we need from you, and I think it's,
Thank you, appreciate it.
yeah.
And
Hopefully that was
before
recorded.
you leave, I think it would be very valuable and helpful for some of your recommendations if we're going to be doing this over the summer. So I would want some of that, your feedback on that too, so we include that since you've been through 3 cycles now. So, yeah.
Yeah, because it was maybe even different from, I just heard this year's how we went through everything, and maybe last year you didn't do that, I don't know.
No, that was all new. So.
Yeah.
What, say that again?
Like how he
He
explained
went
each.
through each point and said, this is where we're at, this is what's happened this
Right.
year, where he reviewed it and broke
Yeah.
it down each section.
Oh, yeah.
Where
That was-
in
that was nice.
past, maybe he didn't do that.
Never had
Yeah,
that.
No, here, fill this out.
right, yeah. Well, it was a
No,
step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a second. Or no, I've got a motion. I'm waiting for a second on
Second.
the adjourn. It's been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion passes. We are adjourned.